Today we are visiting the site of where they film When Calls the Heart. It's so exciting to be here and to get to see these different buildings that they used during the filming of it.
Ruts in the mud, and so then they thought they were going to solve the problem by laying down all of this gravel, which works great for all the rainy weather that we get here. But the problem of it is, as you can hear him walking away, the microphones, when they are filming, pick up every step, every little step. It comes through really loudly. So as soon as the director will yell, like for filming, they instead of yelling, what do they usually yell when they start a scene? Action? They don't yell action. It's freeze! And everybody, literally, if you're walking across back there and you're coming onto the set, you just have to stand stock still because the gravel makes so much noise. But it's made it very much easier for giving tours, that's for sure. Okay, family tour time.
All right, so, hi, I'm Melanie. So I grew up on this farm. My childhood was here, and we were a dairy farm and feedlot when we were growing up. And then my dad pretty much was working full-time on the dairy and also doing electrical, and my mom was like, I'd like to see you, we're married. And she kind of was like, it's me or the cows. And luckily he chose my mom. So we, they're still together and they still have the farm. But then we were like, okay, well, what do we do next? What's the next thing on the farm? Because you're always kind of reinventing as a farmer. So we got into horse boarding, and we also planted 36 acres of cottonwood trees, which are the trees surrounding Hope Valley. And the reason for that was they're hybrids. They take 10 years to grow. And then we're meant to be able to sell them to Scott Paper for toilet paper and for computer paper. On the 9th year, the Scott Paper mill shut down. So we had 36 acres of cottonwood trees and no one to sell them to. And other than that, they're pretty useless and very expensive to remove if you need to remove the roots, because the idea was you cut them and they regrow and you just have this crop forever, and always are selling them to Scott Paper. So we're like, okay, we got all these trees, what do we do now? What's our next move here? So we're always having discussions, okay, what are we gonna do? We'll try this, or we'll try that, and then we were lucky enough that an airplane flew over and saw our cottonwood trees, and they needed a place to build a village, and the cottonwood trees were perfect because they wanted to mock the movie called The Village, which is kind of like a thriller, and they wanted to mock it in a movie called Scary Movie. It was Scary Movie 4, so they were mocking the village, and they asked, can we build a village on your farm? And we're like, yeah, sure, anything to keep us going. So they built a village, and then after that they were going to crunch it all up and throw it in the landfill. And we're like, well, that seems like a shame. Like maybe some student films could use it, or independent films or something like that. So they said, yep, sure, keep it. We don't have to take it down. So we kept it, and then we did get more films, but it was mostly still in the people loved the cottonwood trees. And we had a film called Beyond Sherwood Forest, which is a Robin Hood type movie. And with it, that was Peter DeLuise was the director. He's from 21 Jump Street, Dom DeLuise's son. He also is one of the main directors for When Calls the Heart now. He brought all these cowboys. And the cowboys, one of the cowboys said, hey, you guys should build a Western town. Like, everyone needs a Western town. So they were like, you know what? Well, yeah, let's do it. So we moved the buildings over here. We got a Western town set designer and helped us kind of configure the town. And then we built the town. So about 1/4 of the buildings are from Scary Movie, and then the other 3/4 we built. It was kind of like build it and they will come. And then we're like, this is gonna be awesome. So then when it was finished, we're like, this is great. And then we started getting directors and producers coming, and they'd be like, oh yeah, like, this is great. You got the trees, the open fields, and they're like, if we could move this Western town, this would be perfect. And we're like, oh no. Why did we build this town? So meanwhile, in When Calls the Heart world, there was Michael Landon Jr. and Brian Bird. Some of you might know of them. They were producing what we now know as the prequel to When Calls the Heart. So it was called, Brian Bird's like, yeah, sure, we'll come check it out. So Brian Bird and Michael Landon Jr. came here, and they were like, yep. And they started planning where they're gonna put everything, and my brother's like, okay, just let us know you don't want it and leave. Because it just had so much rejection at that point. And the Canadian producer is like, no. They're figuring out where they're going to put the row houses. I think it's all good. So now we're going into season 7. They've been here for a while. It's the little show that could and the little farm that could. There's been huge obstacles on both sides, the filming side and the farming side, but we've managed to overcome those. We also farm now in a permaculture style farm. We've planted 6 acres of hazelnut trees, 8 acres of barley. We have hops, we have apple trees, we have chickens for eggs, and we have honey. And we're actually starting like a microbrewery with our own barley and our own hops, and we're going to be malting that too. So it's really been helping us move forward on the farming side of things.
So far, it's good beer.
Well, we needed beer to supply the saloon, so
Right.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so and I think Linda's gone over the logistics of where the restroom is and where everyone's from. And okay, and Linda's kind of the logistics master, so we're gonna divide up in a couple groups, and I'll turn it over to you.
So if I could have you join your husband over here, okay, and then I'm going to divide right down here, okay, and so all of you,
Put stuff in the store there if you don't want to carry stuff, because we are going to do a fair amount of walking in that. So. We planted some authentic horse droppings here. So the neat thing about this show is all the horses and horse wrangling and wagons they all are from here. So they're being trained on here, and a lot of the actors and actresses actually learn to ride here. Like Erin hadn't really ridden prior to this show, and when you see her learning to ride throughout the show, she literally is learning how to ride, and she's now an amazing rider. So
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
You can see, yeah.
Elizabeth, yeah. Erin Krikos. Yeah. So this is the mayor's office. These are facades. And this is obviously an important part. What episode, has everyone watched the end of season 6, or where are we at here?
What's the last season?
6.
6, yeah, we've watched
You've
it.
watched all of it? Has anyone else? You're 4. Oh. Do you know stuff that happens in season 5? Yeah? You do?
How far is season 5?
Okay. You know the important stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because there might be some talk of that, but
That's
you've still got a major. Season 5 is a bit major. Okay. And what season are you all on?
I think we're also in number 4.
Okay.
Because I don't want to say it, but it's
Something major happens
yeah.
at the end?
Yeah.
The very last
Yeah.
second?
Yeah.
Okay, you're at the end of season 5.
5.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the one in
Yeah. It's better to be prepared. You'll slowly learn about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go in.
It'll burn you up.
So just watch, don't touch this wire. It's most likely electric. These horses are horses that are used in When Calls the Heart and some of the Hallmark movies. So they're in the field, and that white horse is also from Once Upon a Time. If anyone watches that show. Yeah, Prince Charming's horse.
Oh, what's the
And he can play dead.
Use this electric thing.
Don't touch the fence. It's electric. This is Rosemary's tree that she searched forever for. I think it was season 1 or 2 that she was like, this one, this is funny, this one right here. Yeah, it's purposely scraggly looking. Because I think it was like, she looks forever and then it's just like perfect. And yeah, it's getting them to move it around.
Aww.
Yeah, it is a ponderosa pine, so it's not ideal for this climate. So, yeah. Beautiful. So this is Lee Coulter's office in town that Rosemary's always calling. He also has a lumberyard office, but this is the one that his fancy office. It doesn't look super fancy right now when we go inside. It's actually, a lot of birds have enjoyed it. So welcome. Rosemary's going to be very upset with it.
This is going into the Mercantile Building.
Mercantile store, and they actually use real eggs, real fruits, real vegetables that they have grown.
And what is that area right over there?
The small area is the telegraph office that they added last season.
This is really neat to be able to go through a lot of these buildings and see where they film When Calls the Heart. It's quite exciting. This is Abigail's Cafe and where people catch the stagecoach. Brady's going into the cafe.
I don't want to get out so I'll just be quiet. Okay.
Y aquí es donde entras y están las mesas.
So in here is where they serve the food, and then back here is the kitchen. The kitchen and the stove and the coffee maker and the seating. So you can sit here where Cody and Robert did the pie thing, the cake thing, and cut it up. And it's funny because we become friends with Cody, who's Carter, and we reenacted it with him, the cutting of the cake. So it's pretty funny. And then upstairs is Cody's room if anyone wants to go have a look. Oh, what is upstairs? Go have a look. Cody's room. Tell us what you see. Yeah.
They changed the color to green so that their eyes would look brighter and hotter. Here's the saloon. You gonna go upstairs?
No,
Why not? Go upstairs.
because it's the road to nowhere.
Well, that's all right. I could take you walking upstairs. So, this is Elizabeth's house.
Make sure you get one or two that makes it look like a whole bundle. That's amazing. I was expecting this whole string of.
Oh, I squished it up in my.
I wonder.
Desperate situation.
So I guess they must.
Land is struck by lightning, it actually gives like positive ions in the soil and is very good for farming. Yeah. Scientifically, it's not like a poo-poo thing. It's good.
Yeah, that's pretty. Here we are at the cabin in the woods.
And then the cabin in the woods. Anytime there's a cabin, this is the town.
It's pretty dark. You go in.
And this one was in season 6, huh?
This is season 6 from that snowstorm. And then also the season 1 where the Elizabeth looks after the kids and the cow and she gets splashed by mud. And
Oh.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, way back. When the baby born here?
yes, that's the snow. I didn't want to say it out loud.
I know.
The snowstorm.
This is where the outdoor church was in season 1.
You know,